Good evening. I'm Bill Lighthall, and it is my goal tonight to make a final video demonstrating that the flat earth is inconceivable. Um, we all have had experiences of watching the sun rise over the horizon and set over the horizon. It's obvious it doesn't just disappear in the middle of the sky, which is what would have to happen on a flat earth. But that being said, I also want to demonstrate that when the sun rose and the sun set on a flat earth, that it would be light everywhere at one time. And then when the sun went down on the other side of the horizon, it would be dark everywhere at one time. That would be a requirement of the earth being a plane. Light would hit all parts of it from one source at one time. If you could hit any part of it, you could hit all of it with light. That being said, I used to live in the United States, and I used to call Asia on a regular basis. My fiance was here, and whenever I would call Asia, if it was daylight in the United States, it was dark in Asia. And now I live in Asia, and the same is true. Anytime it is dark here, it is light in the United States. If you call me from anywhere in the United States where it's noon, except for maybe Hawaii, it will be dark here. And if you call me at midnight, my time, which I don't want you to do, but if you call me during your night at midnight, then you would get me during the day. This offers conclusive proof that the sun actually does strike different parts of the earth at different times. And now I'm going to make the video. And what I've done is I'm going to set this phone recording at one end of my kitchen table. And then I'm going to take a light source and I'm going to slowly raise it above the horizon. And when that light source breaks the plane of the horizon, the whole plane will be lit. And when that light source disappears below the plane again, the plane will be dark. Anyways, let me do this real quick. It seems absolutely ridiculous to me that this kind of proof is needed. I've explained it thoroughly on the internet, and yet people still try to say that, it's not true. I really just can't wrap my mind around that. So now we're going to offer our proof. Anyways, thank you for your indulgence. The phone is now at the end of the kitchen table against the wall, and this is our sun. The sun is now beneath the kitchen table, and I'm going to slowly bring the sun up as it comes over the horizon, and look, the whole table is lit and the sun is just barely visible. I raise the sun up more and the table gets lit more. As I raise it to the center, the whole table receives light. Now obviously, this little light on this phone is not the sun. It's not quite as bright as the sun, maybe not as warm either. But it shows how light behaves. Light travels basically in straight lines. Einstein, I guess, proved that it can be bent slightly from gravity, but for practical purposes, it travels in a straight line. So if I take the light source again and drop it beneath the table, see our nice little sunset there? Pretty nice. The sun reflecting off the water, going towards the phone there. And boom, it's dark. How about that? And the whole table is dark. Now, just part of the table. Now, flat earthers will try to explain this away by saying that the sun just disappears off in the horizon by being further and further away. But notice, again, if the sun was further away, the light still hits the table. Yeah, it gets a little dimmer, and if I were to back up further and further and further, eventually you wouldn't see any light on the table at all. All you would see was this little light off in the distance that resembled a star. And that's what would happen to the sun, is that instead of having a sunset, If the sun was just disappearing and not giving light to an area on the plane because it was too far away, the sun would actually begin to appear like a star in the sky at that point from wherever it was that it was dark. Now, of course, the Earth would have to be of an astronomical size in order for it to happen that way. And we all know the sun doesn't just disappear off into the distance when the sun sets. It doesn't go away like this. It goes away like this. As I lower it, the sun sets across the horizon, and then the table becomes dark. Oh, how about that? Pretty amazing, isn't it? It's just the way light behaves. And the whole flat earth thing, the people that believe that really have a really obstinate streak. I've talked to hundreds of them, and they really will attempt to refute any argument with nonsense. And most recently, I had one of them say that I was just repeating what I had been told, when actually I wrote a piece about this, which is my original thought of why the earth is proven to be round rather than flat. And when they saw my original piece, they said they read it. I don't know if they did or not, but they just regurgitated what somebody else had told them, which was, I found really ironic, since that's what they accused me of doing. Anyways, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. Absurd arguments will be deleted and people will be blocked for that, but this just isn't rocket science. You know, it's pretty simple stuff. Light basically travels in a straight line, and if you have a plane, once the sun breaks any part of the plane and rises over the horizon, it will light the whole plane. You will be able to see that light from anywhere on the plane. Anyways, I guess that's 7 minutes worth of video that is probably about 7 minutes longer than it should have been, because this is just a simple truth that is really, it's just inconceivable to me that people don't get this. Thank you for your time.